Shadow and Bone got a season 2. Took me a while to catch up, but I'm here and I'm ready. Shadow and Bone is weird. I actually tried to take a more professional route with this review. I wanted to deep dive into the improvements of season 2. And yes, it is less clunky than season 1. Can I be honest though? I don't feel right giving this show too many compliments. As much as I don't like the Shadow and Bone book, I still don't think it deserved to be done this way. Six of Crows definitely deserve their own show, that's just a given. I don't respect the way this adaptation has been handled. It reeks of laziness and shortcuts, and I can't in good conscience openly appreciate that. I thought Six of Crows was going to get a spin-off, as a lot of people did. That would have forced them to develop these stories better, but they didn't and kept going with the same hybrid shtick, and it doesn't work. If they tried to be smart and creative about it, then yeah, more power to you, but they're not doing that. They're literally playing two condensed, rushed adaptations simultaneously. It is exactly as it sounds, and it's embarrassing. Just to give you a real-life example of what kind of a shit show we're dealing with, I was sitting and talking to my friend about Shadow and Bone. She said her sister liked the books the show was based off of. I said I didn't like the Shadow and Bone books. 2 minutes into the conversation, we realized that the sister actually read the Six of Crows books and didn't like the show, not the Shadow and Bone books. Do you see how this is confusing us as a society? It is a menace to storytelling structure and it's giving me a headache. Anyway, should I even talk about my thoughts on the show? Let's do it. Okay. I prefer season 2 Alina. The show is honest about her tendencies. She's angry and violent, and the story never brushes it under the rug. So that's fun. I don't like Jessica Mailey's acting though. I'm sorry. It's not really her fault. If the script isn't good, the actors aren't gonna suddenly save it. I like Jenya and David. I'm of the opinion that Jenya could have easily been the protagonist to Shadow and Bone. All you had to do was make her the Sun Summoner, and Alina and Mal can go fuck in a meadow. Jenya and David have the strongest dialogue too. Did anyone else notice that? The quality change when these two characters come in is honestly a bit jarring, because at this point I'm always expecting cringy dialogue, but then David tells Jenya she's a ruby and that her beauty is her armor, and I'm like, wait, that's actually kind of nice. Speaking of cringy dialogue, Kirigan's lines are really bad in this season. The only thing that kept my stomach from eating me inside out was Ben Barnes. Ben Barnes was my pantheon in season 1, but in season 2, I liked seeing him, but story-wise, I like Jenya and the Crows better. Kirigan's scenes are also very repetitive. Kirigan and Baba Yaga essentially have the same conversation twice, or thrice, I don't know. I've lost all meaning of cohesion after watching this show. Help. I'm not even done with the first main plot. There's a first main plot. There's a whole other main plot with a different protagonist. The Crows, aka what the entire show should have focused on if Eric Hessier stopped smoking whatever spliff he finds in the sewers. Sorry. Anyway, Kaz is a much more interesting character than Miss Lightbulb over there. The situation with the Crows is packed with a lot more tension without the melodrama. It's serious tension that's tightly wound, and you feel the urgency to get rid of Pekka Rollins' influence before one of the Crows actually gets hurt. Kirigan, on the other hand, I mean, he's evil, but the show doesn't give him enough forward momentum for me to feel urgency of his presence. Nina and Mateus, surprise surprise, again have no purpose to the entire plot. Wylan only just got here, and he did more for the plot than these forced hetero tropes. I skipped most of Mateus' scenes and nothing felt missing. I couldn't give the slightest breadstick about Zoya, but the show keeps pretending she's someone important. I think she needs to be with Nikolai because we need more straight romances in the show apparently, because 4 isn't enough. Tamar and Tolia are there. I think I liked them. I didn't hate them, and they weren't too boring. I at least understood their purpose in the story. They're supposed to be connections to shoe culture, which might play into the show and Alina's character arc. Inej is generally my favorite character, both in the books and the show. I'm never disappointed when she's on screen. Amita Suman pretty much does the most she can do from the script she's given, and I respect it. Jasper is fun. Wylan is cute. I forget the actor's name for Wylan, but I like the way he plays Wylan. It's really sweet. Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting someone? Oh, Mal's a bird. Mal is It's fine. You can tell the actors are desperately trying to make him likable, but they end up making him a little boring. I like that he chose a seafaring life over Alina after finding out that destiny was what drove him to her. It's a nice twist on breaking conventions of prophecy. I would have liked it more if they took more than 2 minutes to establish said breaking of conventions, but oh fucking well. I guess it was better than the ending of the books. By the way, if you didn't know, in the end of the Shadow and Bone books, Alina and Mal just lose their powers and go live in their orphanage. Alina also fakes her death in battle. Sorry. This incessant tale of war, violence, manipulation, and assault is resolved with the sentiment, and they lived happily ever after. Where are the other characters? And Grisha, who might still be loyal to the Darkling? I've no fucking clue. I didn't read the book. But I find it much more funny thinking the books never mention those details, because that would be so fitting. In case you haven't realized, 5 minutes into the video, this is not meant to be a serious review. I'm literally eating cookies as I'm recording this. Listen, if you like the show, fine. If you enjoy the chaos, good for you, I guess. But as someone who takes storytelling kind of seriously, seeing it used in this haphazard way is a bit of a bummer. This story has a lot of potential, but this format is preventing them from reaching that potential. And instead of counteracting that problem, the creators are just chipping away at mediocre story beats so long as the viewership stays up. Which, by the way, the viewership is just, it's so weird to me. It's like people talk about it for 2 minutes and then they make some videos about it and then no one talks about it anymore. They just stop. So that's a little bit sad. But at least Mal and Alina banged in the end. Isn't that nice? Yep, that's my review.